Good morning, good morning. Another good morning. I am on my challenge, 21 days at least, for me, for you as well, because when you do something for 21 days, hopefully it'll stick. I decided that every morning I will wake up at 6, get out of the home at 6:30. It didn't happen yet. The art of small steps. So it didn't happen yet, but it will. I get out around 7 o'clock. I grab a bottle of water and I start walking. And as I'm walking, I am connecting in my soul and my heart with everybody who is on my Facebook page. I tag some people because there's so many friends that I didn't talk to. So if you receive that tag going like, who is she? Maybe you also didn't know that you're my friend. But what I realized in my life, nothing happens randomly. All randomness is not random. We are connected deeply. And the reason we're connected is because we are all supportive of each other. And that support does not look like we usually think, oh, she needs to come and have a cup of tea or a glass of wine or come to my birthday. No, connection is deep, unconscious, and happens energetically. So we can always lean on each other. Like when you have a fantasy, any kind of fantasy, you all of a sudden feel this in your body. When you think of a lemon, you might feel it on your tongue. And there is you will feel saliva in your mouth. And that is happening because our body is reactive to thought. First comes the thought, then comes the chemical that transfers that thought down to your body. And then comes the state, and the state absolutely relates to the thought and the chemical, because the chemical is a hormone. And we have tendencies, especially lately, to be out of harmony with the body, with the world, with the decisions we make. How do I know? I am a life strategist. I work with people who want to develop, grow, be profitable in their business. And then in the first session, we realize that business is just an extension, just a reflection of who you are. And then people understand they don't have enough competencies. Again, competencies is not necessarily what you learn in school. It's not even what you experience. It's a combination of things. The first competency that you have is the gift of God, the gift of universe. You are born with that. So what I decided is to walk fast, to awaken the Kundalini, because when you don't have energy, coffee is not going to help. Or at least you would need to drink coffee every 15 minutes. That's how often the thought of, oh, that would be too hard, that would be too complex, I won't be able to do it, they're not going to respond. Those thoughts are coming, those hormones are raging, those states create lack of energy, they generate our energy, and then we go coffee, sugar, alcohol, sex also helps. Walk is the universal way to get the energy going. At the bottom of our coccyx, we have a snake of energy, actually two snakes, Kundalini energy, the dragon that can fly. But in order for the dragon to fly, it needs to wake up, really. How do we wake up the dragon? First of all, you need to get up before 6:30. If you cannot, sleep whatever time you sleep, but don't forget to look at something bright when you wake up. Why? Because while you're sleeping, body is producing melatonin to keep you asleep. So if you sleep past 6:30, that's where body produces adrenaline to wake you up. If you miss that moment and you continue sleeping, you have more melatonin than your body can use. And then it's good to break it down, wake up your system by looking at full spectrum light or sunlight if possible. Today, I don't see sunlight yet, or maybe it's early, I don't know. And then when you see the full spectrum light, your eyes switch to production, send the information, and the body switches to production of serotonin and dopamine. Those are the hormone of happiness. So if you're not very happy or very satisfied or very accomplished today or feel out of whack, full spectrum light will help. Sun will help even more. Just remember, you don't look at sun with your eyes open, maybe half closed. And early morning sun is much, much better. If you see the sun midday, maybe close your eyes completely and look through your eyelids. And be careful. Be careful. Sun is a strong star. It energizes a lot, but it also can burn, right? So, what I decided, I'm gonna walk and I'm gonna share some information, some ideas, some insights and thoughts that get to me, because as you are walking, and by the way, walk as if you are jumping forward, always with the focus on the ball of your foot, not on your heel, because in this position, your body is like a string, stomach comes in naturally, you don't need to pull it in, you breathe fully, but it creates a particular position of the body, which is straight spine that helps the awakened Kundalini to move up and forward, up and forward, up and forward. And isn't that a great intention, which is a good thing to do, to have an intention for everything, including your walk. So, great intention to be in nature, feel the surrounding, have a sip of water, have a sip of breath, have a sip of sun, and have a sip of wisdom. Of course, if you don't think I'm too wise for you, not wise enough, no problem. You don't have to listen to me. Just walk with me and listen to yourself. Because everybody, like I said, is a resource. We use that resource for others, not for ourselves. When we have a lot of knowledge, and some of us are going to classes, and some of us are constantly learning, some of us are constantly seeking, where is my way? What is my calling? What should I do in this life? I've done so much, and yet I still don't know. If you feel this way, those conversations might help you a lot to realize yourself, to realize your dreams, to realize your energy, because people who are not realized are using energy to to realize yourself in a family. How it looks like is you know everything for everybody in the family. I'm one of those people. And I know how to protect everybody, how to heal everybody, how to teach everybody, how to help everybody. And then it becomes exhausting. And I feel that everybody needs me. Not really. I need everybody. So I decided my family can ask for help whenever they need. And so can you. I am doing mini strategic sessions, absolutely free, no obligation, just because I want to connect with you. Because there are gazillions of names on my Facebook that I haven't talked to or seen for such a long time. And even though I see your pictures, it's not the same. At the same time, energetically, with the intention, I'm connecting to all of you, even though you might not listen to what I'm saying right now, or ever watch, or ever come to my page. I'm still with the intention, not just walk, but at the same time, share what I have, emptying my brilliant head. Everybody had a brilliant head, not just me. I'm just a genius, or at least I think so. And I hope you think the same thing about yourself. Why? Because there is something in your life in which you're absolute genius. And that is why you're doing it so easily that you don't even notice that you're genius in this particular activity, or this particular thinking, or this particular movement. And other people notice it and they ask you for it. And this is where you do all the time without really noticing. And if you ask people around what they love about you, they probably tell you. If you ask what they hate you for, they probably will also tell you, because if you do not realize what you're good at, you will, like I said, lose the energy and feel unsatisfied, and everybody will feel it. Everybody will feel it, what you cannot do and why, because that's exactly what drives you. So energy drives you, or it drives you nuts. So, depending on your intention for today. Do you want to be naughty, crazy, happy, absolutely blissful, grateful, absolutely miserable, the thought that creates that state is absolutely yours. Now, we cannot direct our thoughts. Most of them are unconscious. Most of them are fleeing. We don't really know. What we can control is the body. Because the body is like a dog. You need to train it. Or it will pee all over the place. So you can walk briskly with the attention on the ball of your foot, with the intention to connect or to share or to think about things that you need to think or analyze, or send love to people that you haven't seen for a while, or whatever else you want to do, or call somebody, or talk to somebody, or plan your day, or resolve issues in your business. But as you are working, the Kundalini energy slowly starts rising. And slowly, not because you walk slowly, because it takes time for the dragon to gain the full power, especially if you don't use it for a little bit. So when it fully awakens, it shoots up to your head, and in your head, the lights are on. And that's where you have the best ideas. So if you only walk for 5 minutes, that's great. 15 is better. 30 minutes is great. But if you can walk, I don't know, at least a kilometer, or maybe a mile, or a few miles, if you walk 5, 10, 15, 20,000 steps, when you get to 20,000 steps, body starts really producing energy. Dopamines are kicking in, and you're sweating. Then you come back home, you wash it out with the intention to wash out all the stuff that is not useful for this day, and with the thought, I love myself, being awakened, being awake, being a dragon tamed for a great day, and you're ready to fly. So I'm not much, for me, sitting in meditation is not a thing. I'm very fast. So some people meditate, some people move. It's good if you do both. I combined. So as I'm walking, I'm also meditating. But I added another layer as I'm walking and meditating, because for me, meditation is listening to God, and God is talking all the time. So whatever comes to me, I share. So I empty my cup. Hopefully for somebody, some of those ideas would be useful. If not, at least I will wake you up. I might even create an irritation, which is also okay. Because if you're irritated by me, you might start listening to yourself more. Or maybe you'll find another teacher. The most important thing, do not miss your teacher. Because we are all teachers to each other. The little kids and the older people and the mid-aged people, everybody. And everybody has something to see. So today in the morning I was writing a story as I was walking. I was also telling a story to myself, of course. And the story called The Kingdom of the Living Mirrors. Because I see the world like that. Everybody reflects me in some way. Reflects things I already did or didn't do. The things that irritate me and the things that make me happy. The things I understand and don't understand. And I'm learning not to take it personally. If somebody is irritable to me, it's not something outside of me. Something inside of me has a trigger about it. Has a connection to it, unresolved thought that I don't even know. And when it comes up, I'm always asking, what is it about me? What am I triggered about? And how can I find an opportunity to do something about it in a way that also makes opportunities for other people? For example, I couldn't wake up, ever. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. If I could sleep all day, I would. There are many reasons for it that I can list, but the truth of the matter is, what's the point? I have clients at 2 o'clock, then why don't you need to wake up and move before 2, right? Then I start putting clients earlier. Now my clients come really early, and I have to wake myself up and be ready for it, right? Maybe you have to be at work very early, and sleeping till the last minute, then grabbing a cup of coffee and running to the work kind of works, but then you have a crash. So if you actually wake up a little earlier, you get ready to work so much better, and you can accomplish so much more and faster. But this is not a conversation about health. This is a conversation of all important spheres of life. Relationships, health, of course, because if our body is not capable of moving in life, not just in the morning, but in general, moving toward your goals, then what's the point of setting those goals? Money, of course. If you don't have shoes to walk, well, you can walk barefoot. Bare feet are gonna hurt at some point. And so money, relationship, and of course realization, health and realization. Realization is your profession. What do you do professionally? What are you professional in? So here I'm not talking about engineer, computer, programmer, teacher, whatever. Here I'm talking about profession of the soul. We all have profession of the soul. We don't think about profession as a soul profession. We think about profession as a money-making, career move. And that starts pretty early, when we start orienting yourself toward rewards system, right? If you do well, I'll give you a candy. If you don't do well, I'm not gonna give you a good night movie, right? Things like that. So, but the reward that we desire deeply inside is the reward of the soul, a state, a feeling, a joy, right? A happiness, an understanding. The state of optimism, enthusiasm, things that help you produce those feelings are the things that you are professional in. But like I said, very often we forget that we can do something easy and joyful and still be professional in it. We believe that being professional is doing something hard, study a lot. Study is really great, but if you study a lot, it's not so great. Look at me, I know everything in life, but I'm still fine-tuning my direction, because if you do something that gives you joy, that gives you inspiration, that wants to be with you all the time, that you cannot stop doing it. You love it so much that whether you are being paid or not, you are still doing it, because that's your soul desire, calling, so to speak. We usually put it in a category of hobby. Hobby is the thing that you love to do but you don't get paid for. That's also a good thing to do, but because some people completely miss it. They work a lot at the work they don't like, and then they don't have hobbies because they don't have time for it, and then their soul is slowly going down, 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 from love and bliss and enthusiasm and happiness and courage to push through, to aggravation, anger, frustration, fear to lose the job and to lose the money, and all the way down to depression and the death of the soul. When the soul is dead within your body, you feel sluggish, you feel somewhat depressed, somewhat at the crossroads, and that's where I come in, because the way my talent operates, I am a channel. It's easy for me to identify and show what's in stars, so to speak, for you, because you are a star, you're a fallen star, and when the star falls, the soul falls into the earth, it forgets its importance, its talent, its calling. And so many people spend lifetimes looking for it. Well, it doesn't have to be this way. I am a master of digital understanding of what your soul is about. Your birthday is a very important identification. It's identification of your soul in this one particular place, in this one particular time, lifetime. And those who believe in incarnations, reincarnations, of course, we are reincarnating, and some of us are very wise and been here for a while, many times. Some of us are young souls that are coming to explore this world for the first time. And we are here to experience samsara, so to speak, experience the experience, live fully in the experience, so we become a wiser soul. But it's not necessarily happening as fast as some people want, and that creates dissatisfaction. I need to do something, I want to do something, but I'm not sure what exactly. So what exactly is encoded in your birth date? I'm not an astrologist, just to let you know. I know astrogenetics, I know tarology, numerology. I produce my own metaphorical cards. I also have a lot of understanding of human design because I've studied with the best teachers, Rao Rahu while he was still alive, Richard Rudd, of course, and all the rest. I was a mentor in the system. Richard Bartlett is a great teacher, matrix energetics. I was a master in this form. I know all of it. I had forums, a huge 500 more people forums where I was explaining things. And then I understand that all this knowledge is great, but it needs to be systemized. So when people come to you for a session, very often they tell you what's up. But most of the times, what's up is not necessarily clear for them. So I wouldn't say they lie. They're just a bit confused. So with my whole being, I listen. I listen not just with my ears. I listen to their energy, to their soul whispering or crying or screaming or exposing deep hidden, very deep hidden complex issues. And I make it simple with a very simple system. So I've created my own system. Right now I'm also studying another system that is even better structured. The system, digital system of consulting and coaching called Syucai. And I'm actually going to training in Istanbul in 2 weeks, I think, 2.5 weeks. So I'm very excited about it because going through this material, I minimize the fishing, right? Because we always fish. We try to understand what's up, and without a proper destination to where to look, we can go through the whole ocean. But if we know exactly where the treasure box is, you absolutely can find it in that ship that went down so many thousand years ago. And lucky people do it. Nobody's lucky. Everybody has their own talent. So people who do find the treasures have a talent to find the treasure. And through the digital coaching, I would be absolutely happy to give you a mini strategic session in which you totally realize why you're doing the things you're doing. Who are you and what are your resources? And what can you take and move forward from all those experiences, because that is your treasure. So when you move, where are you going? And those are things that are not hard to identify through the numbers, because numbers don't lie. There are many questions. What if, what if, what if, what if, what if? So all those if could be answered very simply. We live in objective reality. This is the reality of the law, of the country, of the geography, of the biology that you're in, of the psychology of the country, of the philosophy of the country. You are somewhere. And before you got there, there was a moment of birth, and you were maybe in a different place, in a different psychology, reality, and so on. So where you are right now, this is your objective reality. Where you are right now with the documents that identify you in this absolutely objective reality that you cannot really change unless you move, change your passport, change your date and all of that. And by the way, when you change something, for example, if you open the business on a particular day, it changes the way your business operates. So, yeah, that's a different conversation. So if you are existing in objective reality, you're existing under a particular number, which is your birth date. Everybody's scared of QR codes and stuff like that. Well, we are already numbered, accounted, for in the bigger scheme of the universe. Some people call it matrix. Yes, maybe it is a matrix just because it's metrical, just because it's also symmetrical, as above, so below. And just because you are you, and you've celebrated you at least once a year. So whether you accept it or not, you are living under that identification. So if you're interested to know about your identification, we can do it too. Maybe tomorrow I'll tell you about people who are born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, and maybe it will give you some understanding that things are not random in your life. They seem random when you do know the system. I have a system of looking, and everybody has their own system of looking. That's what's interesting, because as you're looking at people around you, you see them through the prism of who you are. And the biggest relationship issue is I need him, her, them to be like this so I can be like that. The biggest secret and the gift to those who listen all the way up to this point is that they will never be the way you want them to be, because they are already different. God-given package, universe-sent package is already there. You cannot really do anything about it. The only thing you can do is to love them or leave them, right? Or you can look within yourself and see what is so irritating. Because like I said, everybody is born on a particular day, so they have particular competencies. Depending on the day you're born, you have talents and competencies that might come in unity or in disagreement with other people's competencies, especially if other people's competencies or your competencies are expressed in a low vibe. Complaining, guilt, I'm obliged, I have to, I should, what I should or shouldn't, compromise, confusion, all of that below courage. If you're courageous enough to look into who you are and to look the truth in the eye, you will probably, for the first time of your life, come into agreement with yourself and others, because you will understand what bothers you in other people is the thing you're lacking. And if they're better in this area than you are, you want to be like them. It's hard to admit, I'm not as sufficient as I thought I am. Or you want to compete with them, but you don't have a competency. And so where the competition shows up, there is no business, there is no family. And my goal, this is what I said is my intention for the series of walk and the series of free sessions and the series of deep conversations with people, is to help people find unity, not disagreement. We are so in disagreement. Look at the countries killing each other, people competing with each other, businesses destroying each other, governments destroying each other. We're in destruction. And destruction is part of nature, no problem. We can destroy. But after destruction comes rebuilding. And that part is often missed from people's life, businesses' life. We go to bankruptcy. We go to bankruptcy in relationship, and even countries go to bankruptcy. And we create karma. Karma is not a mystical word, by the way, nothing mystical about numbers also. We all know how to count 1 to 9, right? And come back again. 10 is 1, and 11 is 2, because it's 1 and 1, and so on. So we know how to count, and we take it for granted. But being accountable is to connect to the number and understand its meaning. I love studying ancient texts. I've studied everything I could study, including Jewish text, Catholic text, some of the Islamic texts, not so much, because it's kind of hard for me. And also being able to understand Slavic text, or very ancient Slavic text, just because I am Russian speaking. You didn't realize yet, I'm sure you did. Russian is my native language, but also Ukrainian, because I lived in Ukraine and I was able to teach Ukrainian back in the day. I still understand and read and all of that, of course. I learned German, so I was pretty sufficient in German. English, of course, is my language now. I went through immigration in Italy, so I've learned Italian for a couple, months, because you had to communicate with people. And then Polish, I traveled to Poland, I've learned Polish. And what else? I'm pretty much Spanish, yes, I dance tango and I teach tango, so I'm not very efficient in my speech, but I understand pretty well, I can read as well. So for me, being in unity with people is speaking the same language. But sometimes it's really hard to learn very fast. So if that's the case, what do? Very simple. You find out who they are, because the birth date will give you that information, and you can speak their language in your action. But if you don't know what the needs are, the conversation becomes very violent sometimes, because you try to explain what you need without understanding what they need, and that's a big conflict between two separate beings, because we can be one in intention, in love, in everything, but we cannot be one in the body. We are different bodies. So in order for us to be one in soul and heart, we need to understand what this person might need and might feel, and it's better to be precise, which I can teach you pretty simply. I'm planning to do master classes about it in October. It's going to be free, no worries. But because I want to share this knowledge, but I'm not sufficient enough. So after going to Istanbul, I would have a little deeper understanding of it, even though pretty deep in right now. I'm in coaching with an amazing woman. By the way, I'm going to give you a link to her group that's also working in Russian. But I'm not doing working in Russian and in English because that would be tiring. I could do simultaneous translation, of course, but I will leave a link to Russian-speaking people, because she's also doing for working. She is amazing in knowledge and embodiment of the knowledge, and she's also giving free strategic sessions, because that's what we decided. We're friends, and we decided that we're gonna unite people. Okay, so for everybody who's here, you can ask for the session right here in the link down there. And just so you understand better, I'm not collecting your anything for further commercial anything, because as I said before, I have 2,500 people on my Facebook, and I have a lot on my YouTube, and I have even more on my mailing list. But people on Facebook I do not connect with, because I have not showed up my face for the last 2 years. At some point I did sessions every day. It was in the COVID time. Every day I would show up, I would teach, I would give mini sessions, I would answer any question you want without any limitation, just because I can, because I'm a channel. This is my talent. It's easy for me to talk for hours and to give you some insights. And it's much easier, of course, when I focused on you. If you are in the audience, I am focusing on you in my heart, but it's really hard for me to focus on the group and give you a particular insight. I can give you a group insight. So the group insight, if you're watching, please walk. Because watching and listening doesn't do it. What does it is the action. Why? Because we have receptors in the body that register action. And so when you get the information, it's just information. When you start moving, information starts moving with you. And it comes from your head all the way down. And we call it prana. You breathe the information and it comes into your form. And that information is not just from me. And like I said, I'm a channel and I talk about things that come in that moment for you. So if you got any insights, I would really appreciate if you write one word in comments about what you've gotten today. What is it about for you? But if you're watching, even if you're at home or at work or somewhere else, just move your body somehow. Just shift your weight from left to right. Move your butt. Belly dance, yoga dance, Kundalini dance, Zumba dance, Latin dance, tango dance, anything you can do with the lower part of your body, so the Kundalini, the energy of life, the sacral energy, the energy that creates babies and projects and money all in the same place, needs the movement. So watch and move in whatever way you can, and walk with me if you can, or watch and walk later, or just walk, don't watch, because like I said, I'm not doing it for you only, I'm doing it for me. And that is the secret number 2. Do something for yourself that you need and you want and you're inspired and it's good for you, or whatever else inspiration is, or you need to move out of the, crawl out of the hiding, or you have some ideas you need to think about, or you have an emotion that you need to resolve within your body. Start moving in whichever way is possible for you. I also have things at home if the rain is really hard, or hurricane, because I'm in Florida. Then I walk on my stepper, I shake on my vibrating plate, I do something with the body. And you know, I taught Zumba for like 15 years in Illinois. Hopefully I'll start it here at some point. Just too busy for it, but at least I'm working at least hour, 2 hours a day. So I'm starting around 7 o'clock until 9. I'm walking. I'm not talking that long because I have my own thing to talk about to myself, which is also good for you. And as you're watching and moving, you will notice the difference in a day. And also, in strategic session, you will realize that not only that you have your own metrics that is set for you, that matrix is not full. Because we don't, in the matrix there's 9 numbers, 1 to 9, but we usually have 2, 3, 5, 6, not necessarily 9. I haven't seen the matrix with 9 yet. So that means you need to connect with other people to light up the parts of your matrix that's not there yet. You need to do something to find those competences, because otherwise people will irritate you. So walk, move, talk to yourself or others, connect, have an intention that serves you 100% in a way that creates 100% opportunities for others. That's the secret formula. It's not for you, it's not for others, it's a combination of both. And it needs to be 100%. Because if you do 50% for yourself and 50% for others, those 50% would be exhausting. You need to do 100%, be charged 100%, be in charge of yourself, charge your body, charge your space, and understand that only you are in charge of you. Yes, Palin, you are absolutely right. Only you are in charge of you. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate the feedback. If you want it to be better for you, let me know what topics you want to discuss. What questions do you have? I would love to answer them. If you don't want to be public about it, you can absolutely write me on a messenger in private, in direct, and then I will absolutely not name you, but I will answer your question. Even if you have a question about your birth date, about your talent, about your calling, whatever questions you have, I'm opening that opportunity for you, because as I am learning something for myself, I also understand God, universe is talking to me because it wants me to talk. We are created in the image of God. We don't know exactly what that image is, but we can look at ourselves and accept that it might be us. And not necessarily in a physical form, but some people feel like they are gods in a physical form. Or that song, I love my body, look at that body, look at that body. That song would not exist, right? So a lot of people do think that they're gods in the material form. I am soul in the material form. I am connected to the universal flow of all wisdom and all structures and all opportunities, and therefore I would like to share, to open that channel for you, to show you where it is, to give you the sense of it as much as I can possibly do with my field, to be expanded and include all of you in my space, so it also happens harmoniously for us all. So the thought that comes is an inspiring thought that creates an inspiring chemical, serotonin, dopamine, and other ones that some people get from some other substances. We can produce it easily within our body and then create a state which is much more productive, enthusiastic, and energized, which creates the emotion, energy and motion that we can share with other people, which creates a much better material result, because our head is clear, our goals are clear, our energy is clear, our day is clear, our space is clear. Believe it or not, some people go. They cannot sustain that level of energy, which is totally welcome as well, because as I continue expanding and including, my field gets better quality, higher standards, and people cannot not be affected. So this is what I do. I impact myself in a way that it impacts the world in a very positive way. So much love to everybody. Thank you for connecting. I see you all. I see who's watching. It's so inspiring to see you being with us all and creating opportunities for everybody. So today, my personal day in my cycle, 9-day cycle, is 4. And it's about receiving the information and sharing the information in a way that energizes and creates opportunity for other people to energize their life. There is no sun. I am sunshine today. For my neighborhood, at least. Hopefully for you. Bye-bye.